I had another experience in an F-6F. They sent me out, and this was a priority plane too, another night fighter.
What is a night? When they say night fighter,
it had a bulb. It was top secret stuff, but they had a bulb out on the end with radar in it. See? So the guys not flying at night could, if they were skillful enough, could pick out a plane, you know, if they could get them in close and shoot them down. Well, anyway, this was marginal weather, and I took off. Of course, all this was in the winter time. This was in December, January, December, November, December, January. But anyway, I got down to almost to Washington, D.C., where I could see the bend in the Potomac River, and I ran into a freezing rainstorm. Now, if there's anything in the world that you don't want in a plane, it's freezing rain. We had no de-icing equipment of any kind. And this, in less time it takes me to tell you about it, I couldn't see out of the cockpit. Couldn't see ahead of me. Iced over. Of course, we had been instructed as to what to do. The main thing you had to do is put it on the ground before it fell out of the air. You know, just like that plane up there in Buffalo, New York. That's what killed them, was ice. So I started calling Mayday back into Washington. I said, and I'm going to land at Washington National. I want you to know they weren't about to let me land at Washington National. They sent me over across the river to across the Potomac to Anacostia, which was a naval base. Well, I figured I'd make that all right, but it was a very short strip, about 3,000 feet, and it was ice. They'd had a lot of freezing rain, but anyway, I kept an extra speed on the thing to make sure it didn't stall. Put it on the ground. I got to the end of the runway and I was still going pretty good, so I just ground looped it and didn't even scratch it. And I got out and said my prayers. I was tickled to death to be on the ground. That's the closest call I ever had of an accident in flying. The closest I ever was. That was close. I was glad to get on the ground. Okay. Anyway, I was in that ferry deal until let's see, I think January.
Were those night fighters, were they painted black or a different color?
Oh, they were just that dark, real dark navy blue, just like all of them. Went back to Cherry Point, back to 913, but this time they were at the main station. They weren't at Greenville. 7th of February of 45. And we really got into some serious training then. We flew a lot in the month of February, and this was gunnery, all kind of stuff, navigation, field carrier landings. I put in 51 hours in the month of February, which is quite a lot for a fighter. Then in March was more of the same. Let me think here, see when it was.
What had your crew done while you were gone? Or the squadron, what had they done while you were gone?
Continued this training. They had just continued their training. And March, April, it looks like we terminated that on the 17th day of April, 45. Got orders overseas.